Hello, this is Linda Terjesen. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're located. It's Monday morning here in California. I'm in SoCal. Again, my name is Linda Terjesen. My company is LTLTE. It stands for Learn to Love to Exercise. Let me know as you're coming on where you are watching from. I love to know where everyone is located at. And let me know if you have done some activity for yourself today. If you have started your day with any kind of movement, any kind of exercise. It could be a walk, it could be some push-ups, yoga, maybe running. Let me know what you are doing this morning. All right. So I actually meant to do this video last week, and then I had a little glitch because I had a new laptop. So now I'm going live from my laptop. And I want to talk today about making yourself feel good, which is so, so important because who doesn't want to feel good, right? I think we all do. So what I'm going to go through is I'm going to go through 10 steps today, 10 steps on ways to prioritize yourself and your health, because a lot of women fail to prioritize themselves, especially if they are mommies. So as you are coming on, let's participate together in this. I'm going to have a little coffee with you all this morning. All right, so my first step today in making yourself feel good and prioritizing yourself is actually focusing on yourself. So focusing on yourself, what does that mean? That means to prioritize yourself over others. Let me know in the comments, how much time do you spend on yourself daily? How much time do you spend on yourself daily? So a lot of times we prioritize other people, we prioritize our business, especially when we're entrepreneurs. We prioritize our children, our pets, our house, our hubbies or our partners, and then in the end, when it comes down to prioritizing ourselves, we're just too tired, we're worn out. So let me know how much time you spend prioritizing yourself daily. And a tip with this is if you have a lot of people coming to you and asking you to do stuff, instead of saying yes and instead of saying no, saying not now. That's a lot nicer way to come across. And a good analogy here is to think, especially during these COVID times, is to think about on the airplane how if something were to happen, they always say, put the mask on yourself first before you put the mask on your children. So same with this is prioritize yourself first before you prioritize everything else. You're going to have more energy that way, and we all know that with more energy, we're going to be more productive in our business. And you deserve time and effort after all. It's not just about work. We need to focus on ourselves so that we can feel better. And when we feel better, we have better energy on our inside and our outside. It's going to shine through. So you'll be a better person, not just for yourself, but also for others. All right. Now, oh my gosh, I'm just putting the camera on. I think the camera maybe was off. I would love to know in the comments, can you let me know if the camera was off this whole time or was it on? I'm just now seeing myself. And I was wondering, am I just talking to my little round camera thing but not seeing anything? So I would love to know if you have seen if you have seen me during this time or if I was just blank. That's pretty funny. All right, that's how it goes with a new laptop. So my apologies. Thank you, Corinne. Thank you, Tracy. I was like, oh my God. Okay. So that was step one. I would love to get some interaction here, letting me know how much time you spend on yourself. So I spend minimum an hour on myself every day, probably more like between 2 and 3, if I count like the makeup part, because I got to put my makeup on every day. And the showering, which is usually quick. If I count all that, then it's definitely like 3 hours. Not that my makeup takes a long time. That's like 5 minutes. But focus on yourself. Super, super important. And the ladies that I work with in my program on health and fitness, they all come to me saying that they just don't prioritize themselves. They're so busy, and a lot of them are entrepreneurs, and we all know how we get up, and if you're really super passionate about your business and you have a lot going on, you wake up like me and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to work, I got to get this and this done. But tip here is, instead of jumping on your computer or your phone, getting into the work mode right away, take that first hour of the day to work on yourself. I start with meditating. It's a super nice way to start the day. And then I follow that by journaling, a little bit of reading, exercise. So I easily can spend a couple of hours, but I don't get into my work stuff until a couple of hours. And this way, I start the day a lot more relaxed. And I would love to know, how do you start your day? Do you go straight to the computer or on your phone, get into wherever you communicate with your clients? Is it in a certain app? Is it via Facebook Messenger? Is it LinkedIn? Where is it? Do you go straight in there and start typing away as soon as you wake up, or maybe within a half hour? Or do you have a little bit of time to yourself? Because if we spend that time to ourselves first, we are more relaxed. Our mind especially is more relaxed. If we jump right into the computer or the phone, then we get a lot more stressed out. We just start the day in a lot more stressful manner. Michelle says, I drink coffee and cry it out. Okay, cheers, Michelle. I'm going to take a sip of my coffee while it's warm, because I don't have a microwave, so I can't heat it up. Okay, Maria says, good word, me first. Yes, yes, Maria. You first, because you are important. All right, number 2 is to schedule the time. Again, this is super important, and it's difficult for a lot of ladies. Schedule the time. So what do you use to schedule? Do you use your calendar and your iPhone? Do you use Gmail, Outlook? What do you use, and how do you schedule that time for yourself? Those of you who are, practicing the self-care and making time for yourself every day. So I have stuff in my calendar, but I also have it in my journal. I use the self journal. It's a really nice journal. I don't have it next to me, but I'll show it to you maybe next time. And I write in my whole day in that journal, and it always starts with me. And I don't write in like journaling and meditating, because that's become automatic to me. That's the first thing I do when I wake up, after I feed the kitty, because he needs food first, so he doesn't cry throughout my meditation. But I do that first, and then I write in the journal. I write that I'm going to exercise, go for a beach walk. I write down all the calls that I have, making sure I don't miss anything. Even though I have alarms and everything set in my phone, I still like to have it on that piece of paper in the journal, because I refer to that all day long. So I always have it next to me, except for right now when I'm doing this live. So number 2, scheduling that time makes it more a part of your life. And an easy way to do this is to start small. And you can start with just like 15 minutes a day, right? You can meditate. There's a lot of meditations that only take 10 minutes. And you can journal. That can be like 5 minutes. They have some journal called like a 3-minute morning journal. So it doesn't have to take a long time. And then you can also just read and just say, I'm going to read maybe 5 pages. And depending how quick you are in reading, or what kind of book it is, how big the font is, depending on how long it's going to take you. But you could just allow yourself, hey, 5 pages, 15 minutes. Maybe I'll do 15 minutes when I first wake up. Maybe I'll take a break at like 10 o'clock when I've gone through, 4 sets of calls with different clients. Then I'll take a break, and then I'll read like another 5 pages, or I'll go for a 15-minute walk. So just doing little bits at a time helps a lot. So Corinne says, I drink my coffee, meditate, I post on social, sharing positive, motivating messages. I love that. I do that too for my clients. I go into my Facebook group and I post positive messages in the morning because it helps them feel better, right? Start my workday. I use Gmail for everything. Yeah, Gmail's a good one. I know a lot of people use Gmail. But I love the positive sharing. How long do you spend on your meditation, Corinne? I'm curious. And anyone else who meditates, how long is your meditation? Mine is like 15 minutes, so it's not that long. And I have others that I do one in the evening before I go to sleep, which is 10 minutes. And it's, 10 minutes is nothing. It's just we got to tell ourselves, hey, I can do this. It's only 10 minutes versus, oh my God, it's 10 minutes. It's not a big deal. All right. So planning out exercise. And also, I help women improve their health. So I tell my clients, you don't have to like meal prep, but just plan. A lot of this planning can also be done in our mind. And the more you do it, obviously, the more you're going to stick to it. So for me, I plan in my mind the meals that I'm going to eat like every day. And I always have healthy food in my fridge, which obviously is the key. If not, you have to go to the grocery store and get it. But if you have healthy food, you don't necessarily have to meal prep. You can just think, okay, I have this, and this. I can put that together. I can have a nice little salad. I can have a nice little sandwich. I can have some oatmeal berries, whatever it is. Just planning stuff in your head is also a very good way of doing it. And putting it in your calendar daily. Okay, so number 3, and let me know, I'd love to make it more interactive. I'd love to know, what do you use for meditating? Is there a special app? The Calm app is a good one. I actually find a lot of random ones on YouTube that I listen to, and then I decide, hey, do I like it or not? And if I like it, then I just keep doing that one for a certain amount of time. It could be for months that I'll do it every single day. And then I'll be like, okay, now I need a change. So love to know if there's any good ones that you use. And by the way, a couple of weeks ago, I talked about 8 steps to practicing self-care. I've put it together in a nice guide, and I would love to send it to you. So if you want that, please message me, let me know, and then I'm going to email that out this afternoon. So third one is creating habits, good habits, and making them stick. So make anything stick. We know that we have to repeat it. Repetition, that's what's going to get in here in the head, and it's going to become automatic. We're going to do it. And we're going to be, when we take action, that's actually when we get motivated. A lot of people will say, I'm just not motivated to work out. I'm not motivated to eat healthy. I have no motivation. Well, how you get that motivation is to take action. Take the action, and then the motivation will come. And you want to be self-motivated. You want to be motivated yourself internally. Maria says, yes, the cat first, then the word. Taking care of oneself to be able to help others. Yes, Maria, yes. And so with the habits, also important, especially with like exercise. There's a lot of people who don't like to exercise. There are so many activities. So find something that you enjoy, and the more you enjoy it, the more likely you are to do it. Just like reading a good book. If you enjoy the book, you're going to want to finish it. If you don't, you're going to put it away. Just like Audible. If you don't like listening to a book, or you maybe don't like the narrator, that happens sometimes, then you're going to stop it. So find something that you enjoy so that you can do more of it. And find healthy food too that you like. There's tons of healthy food. There's tons of different vegetables. There is something for everyone, right? So find something that you like. I would love to know if you want to drop any good books or any exercises or healthy foods that you like, anything that you want to drop in the comments, any questions that you have for me. So just briefly, I help mostly middle-aged women improve their health, get rid of the belly fat, burn body fat, improve confidence, fit into their clothes. So if you have any questions about that as we're talking. The fourth step, I guess I got to speed it up a little bit here, is to change your environment. Another super important step. Change your environment, because a lot of times we surround ourselves with incorrect people. meaning those people are not very positive and they don't rub off on us very good. And we all know that we are like the 5 people that we surround ourselves with the most. And if we surround ourselves with a lot of people who are negative, who are not supportive, and they complain a lot, we tend to be more like them. And this also goes for family, parents, siblings, aunts, uncles, cousins, all of that, right? So it's important to reduce the time we spend with the people who do not bring out the best in us, okay? And also with the environment, something super important for the food is we all know that if we have a lot of junk food at home, like bags of chips, a lot of chocolate, a lot of wine, we are more likely to be drinking it, to be eating it because it's there, it's available. So changing the environment also includes like changing out, cleaning out your pantry, your refrigerator, your freezer, getting rid of all the stuff that is tempting that you tend to emotionally snack on in the evening and instead buy healthy foods. So when was the last time that you actually cleaned out your kitchen, meaning your pantry, your refrigerator, freezer, and got rid of the foods that you know are not the best for you? When was the last time you did this? I would love to know. And a lot of times when we do this, half of this food is also expired. It's expired, so we might as well get rid of it. All right. Last one, number 5 is to change the timing. Change the timing is if you stay up super late, a lot of times in the evening, depending on if you're more a morning or an evening person. For me, I'm a morning person, so I love to get up early. I get a lot more done when I get up early. If for some reason I were to stay up late, I would not be very productive in the evening. And that can happen to a lot of us. We may not be so productive in the evening. We may be sitting around watching TV. That usually leads to another glass of wine, some more snacks. Instead of changing it up, go to bed earlier and then wake up earlier, and then you're going to have more, you're going to get more out of the day. You're likely to be more productive. You can change this with just changing it so that you go to bed maybe a half hour earlier. Get up a half hour earlier. See how that feels on your body. And if it feels good, if you like it, change it to an hour and then move on from there. Who's going to do any of this? Who is a morning person? I would love to know. I'm a total morning person. I actually get up at 4 a.m. It's a little crazy, but I love it because I get so much out of the day. Let me know, what time do you wake up in the morning? I'd love to know. All right. Number 6, this is 6, this is 7, this is 6. Make a list of your attainable goals. So if your goals are more attainable and you can actually check them off the list, it makes you feel better. You're more likely to keep doing it. If they're not attainable, if they're not realistic, and you never get to any of the goals, then you may be beating yourself up and you may not want to write goals. You'll feel more accomplished if there's something you can actually check off the list. And a lot of times, remember, these small changes, they lead to bigger changes, okay? And the bigger changes, it's larger developments really over time. Small changes, larger developments over time. All right, now number 7. Number 7 is we only have one body. One body, meaning it's our body, we can control it, it's our choice. So when it comes to like working too many hours, when it comes to eating the wrong food, when it comes to maybe not exercising, you are in control. You're 100% in control, and nobody's forcing you to work 15-hour days. Nobody's forcing you to skimp on your sleep. Nobody's forcing you to eat that bag of chips at night or the cheeseburger. You are in control. So always remember this. And the more you can think of, hey, I'm in control of what I choose to do. If I want to end my workday at 5 o'clock today, that's my choice. And so give yourself that reminder that, if you complain that, hey, I'm working too much, I'm too tired, yada, yada, that is your own fault. So you're in control. So change it if you don't like it. And then with prioritizing ourselves, with prioritizing our health, something good to do, number 8, is to understand food labels. This is something I go through in the New Me Academy with my clients, is to understand food labels. Because if you're just randomly buying stuff and you think you're eating healthy and you have, you're not happy with your body, you have weight or body fat to lose, or you want to tone, then you're probably not eating healthy. And a lot of this comes to just looking at the food label, looking at what are the ingredients and how many serving sizes are there. Don't even bother thinking so much about the calories, because it's more about the ingredients, how much fat is in there, how much sodium is in there, how much sugar, how much added sugar. That's what's more important than the overall calories. So understanding that instead of just focusing on the calories. Does anyone here read food labels when they buy stuff? I do all the time, and I would love to know, do you read food labels when you buy stuff, or do you just pick it up because, hey, this looks good? Would love to know. Number 9 is to track your numbers. Just like in business, right? If you're an entrepreneur and you have a good business, you're probably tracking your leads, your customers, your finances, your sales, what your income, your expenses. You're probably tracking everything in your business if you're a good business owner. Are you? Let me know. So with tracking all of that, the same thing comes to our body, is that we want to track everything. And especially going to the doctor, tracking our blood pressure, knowing like what range you're in. And when you get your blood work done, knowing like where your cholesterol lies. So knowing all of that is super important to your health, because heart disease is the number 1 killer. My brother passed away from it when he was only 45 years old. It's 14 years ago now. And this, if you're in, your mid 30s up to like mid 50s, that's a prime range and age for having, heart conditions. So know your numbers, ladies, know your numbers. And with food, just like in business, track it, log it, measure it, know how much you're eating, because that's what it comes down to. A lot of times we think we're not eating that much. If we actually start measuring stuff, we're eating typically way more than we think, unless you're eating very, very, very little, which happens sometimes too. All right, number 10. I just blew through it here. You guys ready? Number 10 in making yourself feel good is to eat healthy. And if you eat healthy one day, you can tell the next day how your body's feeling. You can tell that you have more energy, and you can tell that you just feel better inside from the foods that you've been feeding yourself. You can even see it on your skin. And there's a lot of simple adjustments that we can do that can make a big difference. One is to drink more water. And the whole like drinking half of your body size in ounces of water, drink way more than that, okay? Drink way more. So drinking a lot of water, and if you have a hard time, just add a glass a day. Just add a cup a day until you get up to at least 80 ounces, 2.5, 3 liters a day. Get up to more water, because that's going to make you feel better. Drinking 1 last glass of wine in the evening is also going to make you feel better, because we all know if we drink too much alcohol, we're usually not going to sleep as well. And then the next morning, we're not going to feel as well. So clients that I work with, who, even people who want to lose weight, they are still able to drink wine, because wine can be pretty healthy. But of course, everything comes down to moderation. Just like working in your business, the amount of sales you have, you don't want to necessarily moderate the amount of sales you have, but, having it all in so that you think about, okay, how many glasses of wine do I really need every night? And do I need it every night, or can I wait until the weekend? Or can I maybe have a glass of wine midweek, say on Wednesday, and then go to the weekend? So thinking about those little things that we can change, and also simple changes like instead of having chips and salsa in the evening, have carrots and hummus, celery and hummus, something like that instead. So there's a lot of things that we can change up. And this is what I go through with my clients. I look at what they're consuming, and then I educate them holistically on the foods that are healthy for them to eat, finding ways to, hey, how can we switch stuff up? If you really like burgers, what is a healthier burger you can have? Because there are healthier burgers. If you like the bun, what's a healthier bun? If you love bread, let's, skip the Wonder Bread and the white bread and instead go to a whole grain or a seeded bread. So there's a lot of small changes that we can make. And the way that I'm different with how I work with my middle-aged ladies and the New Me Academy is I educate them on nutrition. I don't give meal plans. I don't believe in meal prepping. I believe in a lot of planning in the head and writing stuff down, going grocery shopping, reading labels. But really, if you're educated and you know what to eat, that is what's going to sustain you for the long term versus just following blindly a meal plan for a certain amount of time. Plus, you're going to get tired of that meal plan. So you want to learn what is healthy as far as the meals that you're consuming. So that is one way that I'm different, and that's what's going to make it sustainable and making it a lifestyle versus just another diet. And secondly is relatable coaching. So I'm 52 and a half. I'm in the best shape of my life. I have lots of energy. And that is what I work with my client to be relatable to them. I'm in menopause. I don't have a lot of symptoms. I get hot flashes and some night sweats, but it's controllable. And this is what I help my clients with too. And if you're 50 years old, it would be better to work with another lady who's 50 years old instead of working with a trainer that's a male trainer that's maybe 20. So having the relatable coaching is very important, even in your business, right? You want to have somebody who can relate to what you're doing, somebody who's been there, done that. You don't want to work with a social media coach, for example, who hasn't done social media, who hasn't been struggling with it. You want to have it relatable. And so it's the similar age, it's been down that road. And then, of course, the accountability is what my clients like the most, because we need support, we need accountability. I do one-to-one with my clients, which is what they truly need, because everybody's different and not everybody is comfortable with talking about themselves and whatever, body stuff that they have going on. Not everybody's comfortable with sharing that with a whole group. So that's where they like the one-to-one. So I only have a couple of minutes left. I want to remind you, if you would like my 8-step guide to practicing self-care, let me know. I'd be happy to send it to you. I'm going to email it out today. If you would like some help with your health and fitness, let me know. There's a link. I'm going to post a link to my Calendly where you can go in. You can book a 20-minute fitness breakthrough call. If you're interested, no strings attached. We will just talk a little bit. I'll get to know you. We'll talk about what your goals are, what your needs are, and I'll just see if I can help you, and I'll give you some guidance. It's completely free, so what the heck? Take a chance on you because you deserve it. I'll end it now. Thank you so much, everyone, for listening. Please give this a thumbs up, some loving, and send me a message so I can send you my guide, all right? Have a beautiful Monday, my friends. Thanks for watching.